Every morning, millions of people with diabetes start their day with a routine that quietly pushes their blood sugar in the wrong direction, and most of them have no idea it is happening. Doctors see this pattern again and again in clinics, yet very few patients are ever warned about it. The surprising truth is that blood sugar control for the entire day can be influenced within the first few minutes after waking up. One small decision made in the morning can either support stable glucose levels or trigger hours of imbalance. This video reveals why so many well-intentioned morning routines fail and how a simple doctor-recommended habit can change the way your body handles sugar from morning until night. Many people focus only on meals, medication, or exercise later in the day, while the early morning hours quietly set the stage. Hormones rise naturally after waking, stress signals increase, and the body releases stored glucose into the bloodstream. When this process is handled poorly, blood sugar readings climb before breakfast even begins. This is one of the most overlooked reasons why morning readings stay high despite doing everything else right. Even people who eat carefully and follow medical advice often miss this critical window. Doctors have discovered that the body is especially sensitive during this time, which means the right habit can work with your biology instead of against it. In this video, you will learn why a very common morning mistake keeps blood sugar elevated for hours, even when meals appear healthy. You will also learn how a simple habit, supported by medical research and clinical experience, helps improve insulin response and supports steadier energy levels throughout the day. This habit does not require expensive products, extreme effort, or complicated rules. It works quietly in the background, helping the body regain balance at the exact moment it needs it most. Many people who adopt this habit report better morning readings, fewer crashes, and a stronger sense of control over their diabetes. There is a reason doctors consistently recommend this approach, yet it rarely gets attention online. It lacks hype, it feels almost too simple, and it is often overshadowed by louder advice. However, the science behind it is solid, and the results speak for themselves when practiced consistently. By the end of this video, you will understand how this habit fits naturally into your morning, why timing matters, and how small adjustments can lead to meaningful improvements over weeks and months. Make sure to watch until the end, because we will also cover common errors people make when trying this habit and how to avoid them safely, especially for those using diabetes medication. These details can make the difference between progress and frustration. Welcome to our channel, where we share clear, doctor-backed guidance to help you manage diabetes with confidence. If you value practical health advice that actually works, subscribe to the channel and join our growing community focused on better blood sugar control and healthier daily habits. Mornings play a powerful role in blood sugar control because the body goes through major changes the moment sleep ends. As the body wakes up, hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline begin to rise to help increase alertness and prepare for the day. At the same time, the liver releases stored glucose into the bloodstream to provide quick energy. This natural process is helpful for people without diabetes, but for those with diabetes, the body often struggles to manage this sudden release of sugar. When insulin response is weak or delayed, blood sugar levels rise quickly before any food is eaten. This process is commonly called the dawn effect. In simple terms, it means the body raises blood sugar on its own in the early morning hours. Many people wake up and see higher glucose readings even though they did nothing different the night before. This can feel confusing and frustrating, especially for those who are careful with their diet and medication. The body is simply reacting to internal signals, not food. Stress, poor sleep, and irregular routines can make this rise even stronger, leading to higher numbers that seem hard to control. Because the body is already pushing sugar into the blood, the actions taken in the first part of the morning become extremely important. The body is more sensitive during this time, and small choices can either help calm this glucose release or make it worse. This is why a thoughtful morning habit is needed, one that works with the body's natural rhythm instead of fighting against it, helping to guide blood sugar in a steadier direction as the day begins. Most morning routines are built around speed and convenience rather than blood sugar balance, and this creates problems before the day truly begins. Many people start their morning without checking their glucose levels, which removes an important opportunity to understand how their body responded overnight. Without this awareness, decisions are made blindly, and blood sugar can drift higher without warning. Another common issue comes from reaching for the wrong food or drink as soon as the day starts. Sweetened beverages, refined carbohydrates, or even certain so-called healthy options can cause a rapid rise in blood sugar when the body is already releasing glucose on its own. Rushing is another major factor that disrupts morning control. When the body is pushed into stress mode, hormones rise even further, encouraging the liver to release more sugar into the bloodstream. Skipping a calm transition from rest to activity leaves the body unprepared, making it harder to regulate glucose levels. Some people delay medication or take it without considering timing, while others jump straight into physical or mental demands without allowing the body to stabilize first. These habits feel normal because they are common, yet they quietly work against blood sugar control. This contrast between what feels productive and what the body actually needs in the morning sets the stage for a different, smarter approach that addresses the problem at its root. The morning habit doctors often recommend is starting the day with gentle movement before eating or drinking anything with calories. This does not mean intense exercise or a long workout. It refers to light activity such as slow walking, stretching, or simple mobility movements that wake the body up gradually. Doctors support this habit because it helps the muscles begin using glucose right away, which reduces the amount of sugar staying in the bloodstream. When muscles move, they can absorb glucose more efficiently, even with lower insulin activity, which is especially helpful for people managing diabetes. Medical professionals favor this approach because it works with the body's natural morning rhythm. After waking up, blood sugar is already elevated due to hormone activity. Gentle movement signals the body to use that extra sugar for energy instead of allowing it to accumulate. This habit also supports circulation, lowers stress hormones, and prepares the body for better insulin response later in the day. It does not require equipment, special skills, or a large time commitment, which makes it realistic for daily use. Doctors emphasize consistency with this habit rather than perfection. A few minutes every morning done regularly has more impact than occasional long sessions. The goal is to create a steady routine that the body recognizes and responds to, helping guide blood sugar in a more balanced direction as the day begins. This morning habit helps control blood sugar by encouraging the body to use glucose at the right time instead of allowing it build up in the bloodstream. When gentle movement starts early in the day, muscles begin pulling sugar out of the blood to use as fuel. This process supports insulin response because the body relies less on insulin alone to manage glucose. As a result, insulin can work more effectively even in people who struggle with resistance. Blood sugar levels tend to rise less sharply, which makes morning readings easier to manage. By using up some of the extra glucose released after waking, this habit helps reduce sudden spikes that often happen before breakfast. Instead of sugar climbing higher and higher, the body is guided toward balance. This creates a steadier start to the day and reduces the strain placed on the system early on. Many people also notice better energy levels because blood sugar is being used for movement rather than staying trapped in the blood. Energy feels more stable, and the heavy or sluggish feeling that often appears in the morning becomes less noticeable. As the day continues, this early support makes it easier to keep blood sugar within a healthy range. Meals are handled more smoothly, crashes are less intense, and overall control feels more manageable because the body started the day in a more balanced state. Medical research strongly supports the use of gentle morning movement as a way to improve blood sugar control, and this is why many doctors consistently recommend it. Studies published in respected diabetes and metabolic health journals have shown that light physical activity helps muscles absorb glucose more efficiently, even when insulin function is reduced. Researchers have observed that people who move their bodies early in the day often experience lower glucose levels compared to those who remain inactive after waking up. These findings help explain why such a simple habit can have a meaningful impact on daily blood sugar patterns. Scientists studying metabolism have also found that the timing of activity matters. Morning movement appears to work especially well because it coincides with the natural rise in blood sugar caused by hormonal changes after sleep. By encouraging glucose use at this moment, the body avoids unnecessary buildup in the bloodstream. Research has linked this process to improved insulin sensitivity and better overall glucose handling throughout the day. These effects have been seen across different age groups and levels of diabetes management. Doctors rely on this evidence because it reflects real biological responses rather than short-term tricks. The habit aligns with how the body naturally functions, making it both safe and practical for long-term use without sounding complex or extreme. Doing this habit correctly starts with timing and simplicity. After waking up, give the body a few minutes to fully come out of rest. Then begin gentle movement before consuming any food or calorie-based drinks. The goal is to move while the body is naturally releasing glucose, so early morning is the most effective window. This can begin with slow walking around the home, light stretching, or relaxed mobility movements that feel comfortable. There is no need to rush or push intensity. Breathing should remain steady, and the body should feel warmed up rather than strained. The habit does not need to take much time to be effective. 5 to 10 minutes is enough for most people, especially when done every day. Some may gradually increase the duration as it becomes part of the routine, but consistency matters more than length. It helps to keep movement smooth and controlled, allowing muscles to activate gently. Wearing comfortable clothing and choosing a quiet space can make the habit easier to maintain. Certain things should be avoided during this time. Intense workouts, skipping sleep, or combining movement with sugary drinks can reduce the benefits. The focus should stay on calm, steady activity that prepares the body rather than shocks it. When treated as a simple daily ritual, this habit becomes easy to follow and fits naturally into most mornings. Several common mistakes can reduce the effectiveness of this morning habit, even when the intention is right. One of the most frequent issues is doing it too late in the morning, after eating or drinking calorie-heavy beverages. At that point, the body has already processed additional sugar, and the natural window when glucose is released after waking has passed. Timing matters because the habit works best when it aligns with the body early morning rhythm. Waiting too long limits how much sugar the muscles can absorb naturally. Inconsistency is another problem that often goes unnoticed. Practicing the habit only on certain days prevents the body from adapting and responding fully. Blood sugar regulation improves when the body recognizes a predictable pattern, which requires regular repetition. Skipping days or changing the routine too often weakens this response. Pairing the habit with poor food choices also creates conflict. Starting movement and then immediately consuming highly processed or sugary foods can cancel out much of the benefit, making blood sugar rise again quickly. Another mistake is expecting instant results. While some people notice small improvements early, meaningful changes usually develop over time. The body needs repeated signals to adjust insulin response and glucose use. Patience and steady practice allow the habit to support better control gradually rather than overnight. Several common mistakes can reduce the effectiveness of this morning habit, even when the intention is right. One of the most frequent issues is doing it too late in the morning after eating or drinking calorie-heavy beverages. At that point, the body has already processed additional sugar, and the natural window when glucose is released after waking has passed. Timing matters because the habit works best when it aligns with the body early morning rhythm. Waiting too long limits how much sugar the muscles can absorb naturally. Inconsistency is another problem that often goes unnoticed. Practicing the habit only on certain days prevents the body from adapting and responding fully. Blood sugar regulation improves when the body recognizes a predictable pattern, which requires regular repetition. Skipping days or changing the routine too often weakens this response. Pairing the habit with poor food choices also creates conflict. Starting movement and then immediately consuming highly processed or sugary foods can cancel out much of the benefit, making blood sugar rise again quickly. Another mistake is expecting instant results. While some people notice small improvements early, meaningful changes usually develop over time. The body needs repeated signals to adjust insulin response and glucose use. Patience and steady practice allow the habit to support better control gradually rather than overnight. Certain people should approach this morning habit with extra awareness to keep blood sugar levels safe. Those who use insulin or reagents that lower glucose may experience stronger changes in their readings, especially in the early hours of the day. Gentle movement can increase how quickly the body uses sugar, which may lead to lower levels sooner than expected. Paying attention to how the body responds and monitoring glucose regularly can help prevent sudden drops. Adjustments in timing or duration may be needed based on individual response. People who often wake up with very low blood sugar should also be careful. Starting movement without first understanding morning readings may increase the risk of dizziness, weakness, or fatigue. In these cases, it is important to recognize personal patterns and respond accordingly. Some may need to modify the habit, shorten the duration, or delay it slightly to maintain balance. Listening to physical signals such as lightheadedness or unusual tiredness is essential during this time. Doctors play a key role in guiding safe routines. Medical advice should always take priority, especially when medication is involved or blood sugar levels fluctuate widely. A calm and cautious approach helps ensure the habit supports health rather than creating stress. Safety comes from awareness, gradual adjustment, and respecting the body limits while building a routine that fits individual needs. When this habit is practiced daily, changes often appear in small but meaningful ways during the first week. Some people notice that their morning blood sugar readings feel more predictable, with fewer sharp rises right after waking. Energy levels may feel steadier, and the heavy or sluggish feeling that sometimes appears in the morning can begin to ease. These early signs are subtle, yet they indicate that the body is starting to respond to the new routine. The focus during this stage is awareness rather than dramatic change. Over the following weeks, the benefits tend to become more noticeable. Morning glucose levels may settle into a more stable range, and the body often handles meals with greater ease. Spikes after breakfast can feel less intense, and overall daily readings may appear more balanced. Many people also experience improved focus and smoother energy throughout the day because blood sugar is being managed more efficiently from the start. These improvements reflect gradual adjustments in how the body uses insulin and glucose. Progress with this habit develops over time, not overnight. The body adapts through repetition, and consistency allows these small daily actions to build lasting results. Patience supports better outcomes, and staying committed helps the routine become a natural part of everyday life. Small habits practiced daily often create the biggest changes over time, especially when it comes to blood sugar control. What you do each morning quietly shapes how your body responds for the rest of the day, and choosing a smarter routine can make that response more stable and predictable. This habit is simple, realistic, and supported by medical guidance, which makes it easier to follow long term. The key is to approach it responsibly, pay attention to how your body reacts, and stay consistent rather than aiming for perfection. If this information helped you understand your mornings better, take a moment to support the channel. Like this video so more people managing diabetes can find it. Subscribe to our channel for clear doctor-backed tips that focus on practical habits you can actually use. And share this video with someone who is working to control their blood sugar, because the right habit at the right time can make a meaningful difference.